Hello, interweb. It's your boy, Mr. Hosking, here to talk to you today about the Enlightenment in Europe. I know you've talked about the scientific revolution, and now we're going to expand that idea of thought to go into how people think about how we act and how we should be governed. So the first view, we'll look at two different views on government, and these come from two different philosophers. The first one, Thomas Hobbes believes that people need a strong government in order to keep order. Excuse me. Uh, Hobbes believes that man is inherently evil, and if they're left to their own devices, they're going to do the wrong thing. And I'm sure you could think of people in your life where you're like, if nobody watches this kid, he's just going to act a fool. That's what Hobbes believes. Almost everybody is like that, that everybody's going to act a fool if there's not somebody in charge. So you need a monarch. Hobbes believes you need an absolute monarch that has power over everyone so that every single person in the country is controlled so that they'll act well. The other opposing belief comes from John Locke, and he believes that people have the natural ability to govern themselves. People are inherently good, and they'll do the right thing, and they can take care of themselves. They don't need somebody in charge of them, like with an iron fist to tell them what to do. They have the ability to govern themselves. They can elect people to be in charge of them and run the country, and they'll make good choices, and they're going to do the right thing. So those are two different views on government. Philosophers advocate for reason. The word philosophe is the French word for philosopher. So we use philosophe because we're speaking about people from the Enlightenment period of time in the 1700s. So we refer to this group of philosophers as philosophers. And they believe in five important concepts: reason, right, the ability to think; nature, everything happens in nature on purpose, and there's reason to it; happiness, an individual's ability to be happy; progress, the ability to move forward and improve; and liberty, which you could change that with freedom, right? The ability to have freedom of thought, freedom of beliefs, freedom of speech, those types of liberties. Voltaire is a famous philosopher. He fights against intolerance through writing. He believes that everybody should have the ability to have liberties, the liberty to speak and think the way they want. Baron de Montesquieu believes that a government's power should be divided into different branches so that no one group of people should have too much power. And Jean-Jacques Rousseau believes that a government should be formed through the agreement of free individuals, that individuals agree on who should lead in the government, and when they're unhappy with that government, they can change the government. Originally, this was thought to be a revolution. You could revolt against the government violently, physically, but we can see today, like in our country, you can have a peaceful changing of government through the agreement of free individuals, through the use of our electoral college. At one point in time, we had George W. Bush as president, and then we voted in Barack Obama, and now 8 years later, they're voting in Donald Trump, right? So through the agreement of individuals, we're changing how our government looks, the ideology of our government in a peaceful manner. And Beccaria, he has ideas about the justice system to promote criminal justice. Again, you shouldn't just be able to go around saying people are guilty of crimes. You shouldn't just be able to go around and execute people for doing something illegally. There should be a justice to it. You should have an impartial trial. It should be fair. You should have peers judge whether or not you're guilty, and then the punishment should fit the crime, right? If you steal a loaf of bread, you shouldn't have your head chopped off. The punishment doesn't match the crime there. There should be some equality and fairness to the system. Women in the Enlightenment. Women writers will argue for more education, specifically for women, but also for men. Education isn't great in the 1700s, and they also advocate for equality in marriage. The wealthy women will spread Enlightenment ideas through social gatherings. These social gatherings are held in the largest room in their house, which is for parties, and it's called the salon. And that's where a lot of talking goes on and a lot of information spreads, very much like the salon today. I'm sure some of you get your hair cuts in a place that's called a salon, and you know it's not just about getting your hair cut, it's about a lot of jibber jabbering going on between all of the people that are there. Um, the impact of the Enlightenment. People have confidence that human reason can solve problems, especially social problems. Again, the answers aren't coming from God anymore. They believe that people have the ability to to answer issues and problems and work through situations. It's a more secular outlook. It's more worldly, right? Secular is here and now, opposed to religious or out of worldly. This is a secular outlook where they believe that scientific thinking can solve problems. It replaces superstition, it replaces fear, it replaces intolerance. And individuals become important as people use their own ability to reason and judge. Right? This is focused on every individual. Everybody in this room has an ability to succeed and to be a positive impact on society, not just like the special few, right? So this is focusing on everybody having an importance. Everybody has the ability to use scientific thinking. Everybody has the ability to reason through issues. That's the idea of the Enlightenment. That's been the introduction to the Enlightenment. I'm your boy, Mr. Hosking. Thank you, Cybernet. I appreciate you listening. Have a great day.